Hello everyone. Happy Friday. We have made it to the weekend, almost. So pat yourself on the back, give yourself a gold star because we made it, y'all. So I am Claire Jones, if we haven't already met. I am an author and small publisher committed to changing the world for the better through inclusive stories and practices. And today I'm jumping on to continue my self-published author series where I go over how to write, publish, and start selling your book in 12 months. If you're joining me, please like, comment, share below, no matter what platform you're joining us on. And today we are going to continue with the physical needs of the Healthy Mind Platter, which is a neuroscientific framework to use in order to create and maintain your creative flow consistently and reliably instead of waiting on the muse to strike us with inspiration. So if you're interested in the full rundown of what I'm talking about today, the Self-Published Author 12-Month Planner is going to be launching tomorrow, the digital version. All of my ducks have been sitting in their row and it looks like they will cooperate. So tomorrow is the deadline for the digital version, and then the physical version will come out next month sometime in April once I get everything figured out with my printer. So go to Linktree/ClaireJoyce if you're interested in that. For now, I want to give a quick overview of physical time and sleep time because prioritizing physical movements in your life matters because moving our bodies is critical in improving brain plasticity, immune system function, and overall mood. Exercise also has the capacity to enhance learning and memory, counteract mental decline associated with aging and recovery from brain injury or disease, reduce stress and anxiety, alleviate depression, and improve executive functions such as response speed, working memory, inhibition of inappropriate behavior, and focus. They've even found, did you know, that exercise can be equally effective in treating depression as prescription drugs. So, super important. But why is it important? What happens in the brain when we do engage in these physical activities? It's because our brain produces this awesome chemical called BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. But to make it simple for you guys, it's basically Miracle-Gro for your brain. So this chemical enhances your brain's ability to create neural connections. These are the synapses that connect all of our little brain bits, so that when you exercise before learning something, you are much more primed to create the connections required to learn and retain that information. BDNF also impacts brainstorming and idea generation. So this is what's particularly important for writers and creatives in particular. In order to think of new ideas, connecting existing ideas, your brain must build these necessary neural connections in order to do so. So if you are building a fictional world inside of your head or inside of your mind, your book, for this book that you're writing, the task will be much more easily accomplished if your brain has some BDNF to speed up the process. The NLI, the Neuro Leadership Institute, recommends that we set aside around 2 hours of moderate intensity aerobic activity, 75 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic activity, or an equivalent mix of the two every week. But keep in mind that this doesn't mean that you have to do it all in one day. So physical time basically primes your brain to remember, retain, and store information more efficiently. That's why it's important for writers and creatives in particular, because we want to make sure that we're using efficient behaviors and efficient processes as we're generating all of this stuff in our head, all of this writing world. Even if it's nonfiction, you need to really be able to retain and store facts, figures, charts, graphs, statistics, examples, stories. For fiction, we're talking about characters, we're talking about locations, we're talking about proper nouns. So how can you help your brain remember all of this stuff better and then retrieve the information much more efficiently so that you're not looking up the same information time and time and time again and wasting time in the process? So sleep time in particular, I know we all might be tired of hearing how important sleep time is. It's been a big topic lately, but it bears repeating that it is essential for optimal performance. Like, period, end of story, you need sleep and you need a consistent sleep schedule. It is perhaps the most overlooked and undervalued but important area to focus on when the mind and body are exhausted and mental capacities are fading. Sleep deprivation is considered to be even more dangerous than a lack of food, and sleep has been found to be essential for homeostatic restoration, temperature regulation, tissue repair, immunity, memory processing, as well as emotion regulation. For writers in particular, it is necessary to solidifying these neural connections that we're creating in our brain as we draft out our books, in order to flesh out our world building, in order to remember and retain and organize all of these charts, statistics, graphs, facts that we have to keep in mind. There are so many details that writers need to keep track of as they're writing when they're developing their manuscript. Whether you're writing fiction or nonfiction, you will need to remember names, places, facts, personalities, anecdotes, and or past, present, or future events. And so your brain needs space and time to process this new information, and it will be much better prepared to remember all of those details if you have spaced out your brainstorming and writing sessions to allow for adequate sleep. I've actually been doing this a lot this week. I'm on a tight production deadline for this planner, and so I've been writing 7 days every single day this week, but I specifically made it so that I wasn't doing a lot of writing every day or in a single day. It's writing spaced out across multiple days so that my brain has the capacity to catch up, to integrate new information, to organize information as I sleep, because ideas will come to you as your brain goes through this process of restoring during sleep hours. So the sleeping brain is vital to memory storage and retrieval, because these brain connections and circuits are reactivated during sleep. It allows for new information to be integrated with old information and for irrelevant information to be forgotten. So it's kind of like clearing the cache of your brain overnight so that you can start fresh in the morning. In general, the NLI recommends that you restrict your work time to 6 to 8 hours a day and get 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. Some people need more time, some people need less time. You kind of need to experiment to find out what works for you. Just make sure that you're consistent once you find a routine. So that's pretty much it for today. If you're interested in learning more, check out the planner. I go into much more depth detail for the planner. It's 280 some pages at the moment, so there's a lot in there. Next time I'll be jumping to talk about cognitive needs, which is downtime, time in, and focus time. And this is really to make sure that we can reliably tap into flow state, inspiration, as well as self-awareness throughout this process. So in the meantime, please remember that you all have extraordinary stories within you, and I'm here rooting you on as you use them to change the world for the better. Take care, everyone. Bye.